Next question comes from Kevin on Instagram. I have another question. Is there any reason to use a low alpha acid hop for a bittering hop addition? For instance, why would you use Hallertau Middle Brew at about 4% alpha acid if you can find it at that anymore, ladies and gentlemen, instead of something like Centennial at 14% alpha acid? Does a hop with lower alpha acid, I can't see, produce a different bitterness than a high alpha acid hop? I think what you're looking for here, so first of all, great question. The primary difference is going to be green matter going into the kettle, right? There can be some benefit there. I don't know exact like specs on this, but there is a balance between polyphenol that would be contributed through green matter from a hop addition and protein level in your kettle. And when those items are balanced, you will get a clearer wort. Those things will tend to lock together, form larger particulate, and then fall out. Okay. I don't know too much of the background on that, but it's just something I want you to keep in the back of your head, because I do know sometimes where brewers have leveraged using lower alpha acid hops for their 60-minute charge, their boiling charge, their bitterness charge, because they find that they get a clearer end wort. Okay, so that's just a side note, but I think what we're really getting at here is the bitterness different between high alpha and lower alpha hops. Primarily, you're going to be looking at cohumulone. Okay, so cohumulone is a hop compound that is sometimes associated with a harsher bitterness. If you're looking at a lower cohumulone hop, something like in the 25% range, 20 to high 20s, people will say that will give you a smooth bitterness, right? But also if you go with something really high cohumulone, you can get potentially a more bracing bitterness out of it, a more aggressive or rough bitterness. So it's a little bit more of that metric. Obviously too, when we're talking about using a low alpha versus a high alpha, there's the volume issue there too. But that's basically the big picture. Now, I would say this, and I could just be wrong, but sometimes I feel like if I want to make a really austere beer, I do want a neutral hop to be using for my boil edition. So like if you're saying something like Centennial, maybe your Centennial will be boiled to hell by the time you get done with your 60. I wouldn't be crazy about using something really aggressive like a bomb like Citra or something like that. Maybe you would have something coming through on a really light beer. Maybe that's just a concern of mine. But a comfort range for me is that high alpha, low cohumulone, neutral bittering hop, like a Magnum, something like that. Appreciate the question, Kevin.